Hey y'all, Faith Gray here with Lone Star Baptist Church, and you're watching the next episode of our podcast, Just Add Water.
His name was Whitey Tidy.
Whitey Tidy.
Yeah.
I want to do something before we start. I found these and I don't know what they are, so I want us to eat one. I can't get mine open.
Oh crap, we're supposed to do it together?
Oh wait, here's an orange one. I'll take an orange one too. There we go.
So I opened your red one for nothing.
Break a tooth.
I'm supposed to have a dentist appointment tomorrow, but I'm not going to it.
Oh.
I have rehearsal.
Oh. Hey, do you want to see my ankle?
Yeah, how's it doing?
Oh!
You need to go to the doctor.
No, it's just sprained. Look how much.
Are you a doctor?
Yeah, it might be. Okay. Welcome to episode 6 of Just Add Water. Anyways, so this is Hannah, our guest.
Yep.
I love that you're on here because Casey doesn't know you and thinks you're scary.
I don't know why though.
I feel like she's gonna watch this episode and go, I was really scared of Hannah.
Well, my face always looks like I'm ready to take you out or something.
How did you pop? Hold on, can I do that?
It's not that hard.
No, it was just. It was like 2. It was like.
Now my hands hurt. Anyway, but I don't know why. I mean, I always look kind of mad, but usually I'm just, bebopping and boogieing.
But here's the thing, you don't. Like, if you're ever talking, you don't. Like, if you catch you when you're staring off in space, yes. Which I guess is often, unless you're being talked to. Yeah, like that. But see, I guess it's because I know you, because even to me, that doesn't look like you're mad. That looks like, what is life?
What snacks do I have?
What snacks?
What do I got in my core?
So anyways, we're going to get to know you first by sharing your testimony in true Hannah fashion, though.
Sorry, that was phlegmy. My bad. Okay. So, I mean, I've done this so many times. I'm trying to think of I'm overthinking it.
I think I know. It involves Caleb in a lake, right?
Things. I don't. I have the memory.
That's your testimony, Caleb in a lake.
Caleb in a lake. I have the memory of a fruit fly. So, I was born and raised. Now,
in the beginning.
There was Hannah. She was born. So, no, I was lucky enough, very blessed to have parents who brought me up in church. So, we were kind of the crap. Can I say crap?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's just PG, crap. That's our Christian cuss word. Crap, dang it, darn it.
Poots.
What
is it that Sarah says?
Poot ninnies.
Poot ninnies. Anyway, so I was lucky enough to be brought up and have the Bible and Christian and godly influences in my life, my entire life. It was kind of like I was in the
cliche.
Church. Yeah, as soon as it was okay for me to be out and about.
Me so well, and I was in the church every day.
So I don't know. I was lucky enough for that to be how I was brought up. But again, you can be brought up in that, but
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, until you, get saved. Anyway, so I was lucky enough to be brought up in that. I was kind of like knew every answer in the book. You know. I was really good at that. That
you were that annoying kid in Sunday school. He's like, I know.
I was like, Hannah, shut up. We know. But no, it's kind of like in those games. Those games that they used to do where it's like they would read a verse and you'd flip to it, and the first person that got a piece of candy. I had a lot of candy.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. So
you were literally raised on sugar.
Yeah. Anyway, but I was lucky enough for that to be how I was brought up. But my dad served as youth pastor for a while. And so we were always
Wait a minute, youth pastor?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was
I knew he was the children's, because he did children's church when we were in, but I didn't know he was youth.
Yeah, he was youth for a little bit. Like Austin and all them had him for, yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. But yeah, so we were at church camp, and so I guess it was one of those, again, memory of a fruit fly, but it was to where, I did the whole walk up there during the invitation. I can't even remember what I thought or prayed or whatever, but in Hannah's mind, I was good to go.
Yeah.
And so then that was probably, and I was probably like, I don't know, like second grade, first
Yeah.
grade.
Well,
so-
you've been to church camp literally your whole life.
Yeah.
So it's not like most people are like, well, I went to church camp when I was 9.
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, always went.
Yeah. Little 11-month-old Hannah was
Ready to go. She was bebopping boogie.
I was bebopping boogieing around Stone Ridge. But, so, anyway, so I guess I just didn't, I don't want to say think anymore about it, but it was kind of like how you can kind of become numb to it.
Yeah.
You hear it so much that you don't really realize
you just know the answers and you don't even think about them.
Yeah, you don't take it to heart or anyway, it doesn't click. So then fast forward to, we had moved churches.
Mm-hmm.
We were attending Sugarloaf and Heber, and my brother, so live near the lake. So after school every day, me and my brother would walk down to the lake, take the dogs on the walk, just chill by the water, have good chats.
Was that when you had your wiener dogs?
Yeah.
I just need to know because I can just
Sugar.
picture you two walking with little wiener dogs.
Yeah,
just
Rocky's
like
up
trying
there
to keep up.
barking at a fish carcass. Sugar probably didn't come with us. She was stubborn. She hated to move.
She was like, I will not be leaving this house, thank you.
So anyway, you know how I am telling things. It's like chasing a thousand rabbits. Anyway, thanks. Thanks, Mom.
Actually, I chased that rabbit hole because I just needed for the picture in my mind. I needed to know if it was the wiener dogs.
Yeah. So yeah, Sugar and Rocky are over there. I don't know, eating a dead fish, whatever. So and I was talking to my brother, and he was telling me about what they had talked about in youth group. I don't know if it was the night before or that week or whatever. So we were just talking about that, and he, talked about how to be saved you have to. I mean, pretty much he gave me the. Not necessarily Roman road, but pretty much that you have to mean it.
Yeah.
It's not so
probably like the same thing you've always heard, but it came from somebody different.
Well, it was kind of like how you can say words, but there has to be action, and you have to mean it.
Yeah.
It's like me saying,
"Sorry,
hi, you look cute." Doesn't matter, but I'm like, "Oh, that looks." Wait, that was not a good example. You can cut that out. Anyway, but you know what I mean. Like you have to actually mean it. It has to be a. Anyway, so I
feel like that was a good example. I knew where you were going.
Like
when somebody's like you look good or something, but then when they're like your smile, like your teeth are very white, or like your hair looks good today, like you can tell when they mean it versus when it's just like hey bye.
Hey, you look good. Yeah. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he was talking about how you have to mean it. You can't just say there has to be conviction in there, and you have to truly pivot and and confess your sins, admit that Jesus is God, that he died on the cross, rose from the dead, and you have to, whenever you ask him to forgive you and to save you, you have to mean it. It can't just be a repeat after me kind of situation. You have to actually mean it. And I don't know why, I just imagine, in the first Despicable Me where Gru was like, light bulb. It was like it just clicked, and I was like,
light bulb.
I was like,
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. There was no change. There was no action. I didn't truly ask God to forgive me again. I don't even remember what I said when I was in the second grade. I don't even. Anyway,
probably whatever the person down there told you to say.
Yeah, and I was like, Caleb, I'm not saved. I was like, I need to
You're like, oh no.
I was like, and it was just kind of like the light bulb was obviously the Holy Spirit convicting me and saying, you're not saved. You never made that confession. You never asked to be forgiven for your sins. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So my brother, we talked about it, and I don't remember the words I said, but I remember the immediate change.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
How special is it that your older brother did that?
It was really, it doesn't matter where you are, or if you're in your room by yourself, or if someone helps or leads you, but it was a very scenic. The lake was right there.
Lake.
It was, but no, it was, so that was the moment I got saved. But your testimony is before your salvation, and after. And there's been so many times in my life that, I have, pull away, and it's so crazy. Because, there's that illustration where it's the man and his wife in the pickup truck, and they're driving down the road, and when they first got married, she used to sit right up beside him, and then later she's on the other side, she's like, why don't you sit by me? He's like, well, you're the one that moved. It was kind of, there's been so many times in my life when I'm I get to a point, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm sitting in shotgun seat. I need to move back. And God never went anywhere. I just drifted. But I don't know, I feel like the next step kind of goes into the number 2 question that you told me about.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's
Okay, so you want to stop that there.
Well, actually, no, I can tell it. It's mine. But so another like major pivotal point in my testimony is after my dad passed away, there was, I don't know, kind of like a time where, I'm making sure I word this right.
Yeah.
So there was, after he passed away, I feel like I was never mad at God for, taking my dad away. I mean, he took him home.
Right.
But, I don't know, like, after he first passed away, I guess I just thought I kind of went numb, but it was kind of one of those things when you realize afterwards, like, it's in Philippians, I think it's like 4:7, and it talks about how after it's talking about with everything in prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God. But it's in the peace of, here, actually, I'm going to look it up because I don't want to misquote. Yeah. Let me find it.
So how old were you? Like, I remember the year, it was 2020, but how old were you when your dad passed away?
I was 17 because I turned 18 and
it was your senior year.
It was my senior year. Yeah. It was February senior year.
Right
before all that COVID hit.
I think it's so easy for non-Christian. That's why I think your testimony is so, like, can be so powerful, because it's almost like everything that like, if you were not a believer, everything that happened around that time would be, like, all the cause for, like, well, yeah, like, all the cause for, like, life sucks, I'm giving up, and, like, turning to bad things, because it was a lot. It was COVID. Well, it was your dad, COVID. That was the year was that not the year that your birthday was on Father's Day? Like, same year.
That was kind of bonkers.
I know, that's what, like, so from the outside, you're like, okay, why does Mother Nature hate you? But in reality, and, like, in your, like, I just feel like your testimony is a good example of how it's not, why would God do this? It's, thank goodness God can get me through this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I found the verse.
Okay.
So I'm going to read the few verses before it. So it's rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. And so for me, it was kind of like after it first happened, I was like, I felt like I should be like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was awful, but
right.
I felt like I should be more like distraught, and like it was kind of like a
so like you're saying you felt like you should be more almost upset than you were.
Yeah, and
like society told you need to be sadder, you need to be more upset.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, it's been
well, yeah.
But it was one of those things that after it originally happened, I thought, I was like, am I just like numb?
Yeah.
Like I was like, but then
I haven't processed it yet.
But like looking back, it's the reason I couldn't put words to it is because it's the peace that passes all understanding. It's peace that's unexplainable, because it's just so great that we can't put words to it.
Well, and you don't think about, like, a lot of the times you hear people say that, like, when somebody dies and they were saved, they're in heaven, you get that like the peace and they're in a better place, but you normally put that with somebody that died of old age or somebody that's older. You don't put it with traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you would call that traumatic for you. I would.
Yeah.
Just because to me trauma is something that causes it, like, it lasts, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's just grief.
I mean, that's true.
But
to me, that's a more traumatic experience with death than it is if somebody lives to be 80, 90. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, Dad had cancer for like 6 years. So, I mean, again, you can't prepare yourself for that. But, I mean, some people, like, it's much more sudden. I mean, but it's hard to, I don't know, it's just different. But I think that's just, grief, it changes.
But I just think it puts a different, because to me, when I hear the peace that surpasses all understanding and you put it in the context of death, I picture an old woman that's just smiling going, and he just left the Lord. Like, I don't picture it being something like that where the world around you is like, oh my gosh, she's going to break. Like, that's so traumatic. And it's, and you're just like, I'm chilling, dude. Like, read my Bible.
I was like,
sucks, but we're good.
I was like he's a lot better than he was when he was here.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and that's also because coming from somebody that was on the outside of it, because me, you, and Sarah were already like best friends at that point. And so from the outside of it, we very much were like walking on eggshells. Can we say anything? Can we do anything? We don't want to make it worse, but and it's with the broom where you like
okay.
Yeah. So like, but I mean, we were knowing you personally, we were like, okay, let's make her laugh, let's make her, but then also it's like some people are like, I don't want to laugh in this situation, you know what I mean?
Like
yeah.
But again, I don't know. It's different with every situation and every person. And
so would you say that was like a growing moment in your faith?
I think it was definitely a growing moment, but it's also one of the moments that I think once you get saved and you become a believer, there's obviously when you got saved, but there's moments in your life that God just, confirmed, and it's just something to look back on and be like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like there's it's almost like milestones.
Yeah.
It's like he gives you checkpoints.
Yeah, and it's like you can look back and be like, a few
years later, remember that miracle? A few years later, remember that thing that happened?
Yeah. And so it's just one of those things that it's like, it's okay.
Yeah, like a confirmation almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you could say that.
Okay, so moving on, but also still kind of moving right along. Also talking about like your dad, it was your senior year. There was a lot of things because your dad was so prominent in I love the little dance you're doing right now because it's
I zoned out a little bit.
Your dad was such a prominent like person in the community because he was the elementary principal forever. He was super involved in a lot of churches. It just like he almost just like everybody knew him,
Yeah.
And so because of that, there was a lot of things that like church people, community people did like to commemorate him, to try to help your family. So from somebody that's been through not just like, my cousin or my aunt or my great-great-grandma died, but like your dad and at a young age, what's something that really does help when you're going through that grieving process? And what's something that people maybe think helps, but for you were like, that actually really doesn't kind of help?
Yeah. I don't know. So one thing that I'll start with the probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So, or not probably shouldn't, but one thing
for me personally, it was a no.
Yeah, it's all different situations, but one of the things that I don't know, it was difficult whenever, and I understand that, it's kind of a sensitive, I don't even want to say sensitive subject, but a lot of people don't know how to, deal with it, approach it, but like one of the worst things was when people didn't, instead of being, like cautious about it, they just didn't talk about him.
Yeah.
They acted like they didn't bring it up. They didn't talk about it, and they acted like he didn't.
Ignored the situation.
It was like he never existed.
Yeah.
Because but it's like it would be much, I don't want to say more comforting, I think just better all around for both parties involved if you just, hey, I just want to tell you, I remember this one time when,
acknowledge it.
Be like, hey, I just want to tell you this one story about what happened with your dad when we were, I was in the 5th grade and he took me on a field trip, or like, we were out doing something, we floated the Buffalo River, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was, because if you knew my dad, you had a story to tell.
Yeah. Yes.
He was very outgoing, he was very personable.
Like when we went to DC and it was Sunday and he was like, I will not stand for missing church. We just like sang Jesus music on the bus. So like fully a school function where like teachers aren't supposed to do that.
He was like, come on guys.
Yeah, he was like, got his sweet tea in the morning, got his coffee. We're gonna be singing Amazing Grace.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. I said I don't know about 3,000 times there. I need like a tally mark. I don't know.
Put up a little.
But it just makes it a lot harder when people tiptoe. I'm kind of hypocritical there because, like, again, when I've been to, like, other funerals or, like, been around other people, and I feel like I should know what to say or do whatever.
But it's one of those things where everybody handles it differently.
Yeah.
So, I get that.
Yeah, I think it's just one important thing is, like, if you're in a conversation with me, last week? Mm-hmm. Yeah, last week was 5 years since he passed away. So, it's, like, now it'd be kind of, but, like, especially at the beginning, it was just really weird when people would just...
not talk about
him. Like, it was like...
It was almost like you, like...
He never existed. It's like, you had a dad? I don't know. Who's John Moore? I don't know. And so, I don't know. That just made it a lot harder. Again, there were so many... That was, like, a teeny tiny margin. But I think that's one thing you can do to help people is, like... just chat.
Help them talk through the like
and
memories and
it's a nice transition for you to, oh my goodness, yeah, he did that one time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's just, it makes so much.
What about when people ask how you're doing?
I mean, I think it depends on the person. I think it also depends on, because, I mean, it's better than saying nothing.
Yeah, okay. That was kind of my question, because I know for some people, the typical, like, sad face, head tilt, how are you doing?
It's like, well, what do you think?
It's like, my dad just died.
Yeah, it's like...
Where you just look at him and be like, wonderful.
I'm doing great, sweetheart.
Yeah, but then that also, like, to me...
It's better than saying nothing, and I don't know, and I think it also depends on who you are and how close you are to that person. Because, like, if you, or, like, Sarah, or I don't know, anybody that's close with me would have been like, check in, how you doing? I'm here, or just, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
If you need to talk, I'm here to chat. Love you. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better than saying nothing a lot of the times.
Okay.
But again, it depends person, situation. So someone may watch this and be like, actually,
she lies.
I hated it when people said that. But I don't know. And one thing that like gives me a lot of, I don't want to say comfort when I'm dealing with situations like that. And again, this is just Hannah personally, but I don't remember. Like, I remember the people who were there, and I remember who was there for me, and I remember like details vividly. But like, I don't remember if you were at the visitation,
like in the
and
moment,
said, how
the
you
words
doing?
that you
It's
said.
not like I was like, she just asked me how I was doing. That fool, like, you know what I'm saying? But you were there.
Yeah,
you were there.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the important things. And that was another thing. So that was the help.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a don't do what turned into what you could do. Another thing that really helped was, I don't know, we were so blessed after Dad passed away, just with community and church and family and friends. But like, I'm not gonna lie, it was super bonkers. So I didn't know, because I had never had anyone that close to me pass away before. But like, I didn't know that people just like showed up at your house. So like, whenever Dad had passed away, me and Caleb weren't home. We had ran into town, stopped by school, see people and stuff. And so, pull up to my driveway.
17 cars.
We had to park in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah, you couldn't even park in your own driveway.
And so it was kind of, at first it was kind of like, hey, because it's like you really like the open door and there's like a bajillion people there. And at first it was kind of weird, but then it was such a blessing to be surrounded with that much love, people who cared about us, people who cared about Dad. But also it was an amazing like distraction. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like I don't have to think about this right now.
Yeah, I can deal with it later. Right now, I'm coping.
Now it's hey, do you want any sweet tea?
Yes.
But I don't know. But again, I didn't know that people did that at first, and so I was like, "What's everybody here?
Why are you here?
Why are you here?" But I don't know. We were just.
Well,
I that's one thing that
me and
helped.
Sarah were at school, and it was like. I hate to make light of this, but it's you, so I know you're okay with it. It was like the Great Exodus, because it was like news broke, school ended, every elementary teacher on the face of the earth was gone, and me and Sarah were like, how do we get there? But we also didn't want to just show up because we knew everyone under the sun was there, so we were like trying to text you, trying to call you, but we didn't want to keep bothering you, but you weren't answering. Come to find out, your phone had fallen in the back of your brother's truck, but we didn't know, so we were like, she's ignoring us.
Forgot about that.
And so we texted your brother, and your brother didn't answer, and we were like, do we show up or do we not show up? So I don't remember even how we got there, but yeah, we got there, everybody under the sun was there, and we were just like, okay, we're gonna go sit by Hannah now, and yeah, so
I appreciate
it was from the other side, it was like, do we go or not? Because we already know there's 80 million people there.
No.
So, but yeah.
No, it was, I don't know, but again, we were so blessed with, I don't know, people showed up.
Yeah.
And that's what you can do is you can show up. You can, whether it's, I'm going to do this casserole, or like just being there chatting. And a lot of the stuff is the people who, I don't want to say the aftermath, but like the weeks and months, because that's what they
don't forget about you after the day.
Yeah, well, not in just that checked in. Yeah. Because, again, grief is ever present, but, it changes. And I don't want to say it gets easier, but it changes.
I don't think it gets easier. I think it becomes your new normal over time. And you just learn to live with it. It's chill. It's chill. Somebody asks you how you got through it. It's chill, man.
It's chill.
It's chill.
I don't know. And I think a lot of, again, blessed, but was that, you know, he was such a good dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So that just made it, I mean, it made it hard that he wasn't there, but it was also like there were so many good things to be like.
So that's a pretty good transition into being, like, staying faithful after loss, because there are countless stories of people like you that are, I'm glad got me through it. I'm glad that I had my church family. And there's also countless stories of people that say, I was a Christian, but how could God take my dad when I was a senior in high school? How could God, you know what I mean? So what words did you tell yourself, or, you know, other people tell you that reminded you, or even scriptures, like you shared that one, that kept you faithful instead of going the route of, like, anger, turning away from God, and things like that? Yeah.
I don't know. I think, again, memory of a fruit fly over here.
Well,
so
yes.
I'm not going to remember what I told myself.
Well, I just mean, like, what thoughts, you know?
Well, I think a lot of that was the people that I am surrounded with. You know what I mean? The, you know, again, church family, family, and then, you know, friends. I don't know. I think God just used other people to kind of, I don't know.
You're leaning on, like, them, and they're going to put godly words in your mind. And and I think which I've never gone through something like that. I mean, I've had grandparents and great-grandparents, well, really just great-grandparents, pass away, but it's like, to me, it's having people that are Christian that you can also talk to, because I hope that you knew you could come to me and Sarah and tell us, I don't understand why God would do this. And we wouldn't be like, you sinner, how dare you doubt God?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, but see, like, I feel like a lot of people think they can't say that to their Christian people, which is when they turn away. And then they have to deal with it themselves.
And they internalize it.
And which in reality, that's a fair question to ask. Like, I don't remember where it was in the scriptures that I found it, but one time I was dealing with something, and it showed up where it was either Paul or Peter was praying, and they were, like, expressing anger to God. And the commentary on the side was that, like, you can tell God your feelings. Like, you can tell God, I am angry, I am confused, I am sad, I am depressed, because he already knows it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you not telling God that you're angry means he doesn't know you're angry. Oh my goodness,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, he knows. And so as long as you express, I'm feeling angry, and you're not blaming God.
Yeah.
Which, to me, you don't just naturally blame God. You don't just naturally blame God. You get mad, you internalize it, and you need somewhere to put it, and that's when you blame God. Which, instead, find your people, talk to your people, express, or even God, express. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I can see where, like, having people is what keeps you faithful.
Well, and then that's obviously gonna edit out if you think I should edit this out. But so there was one, I forget who told me, but there was somebody who, after Dad passed away, I forget who it was, but they were like, I feel like Hannah's just really mad at God, or something like that. And then again, I heard this all secondhand, but person number 2 said, well, I don't think she's mad. I think he's the only person she can turn to. Yeah. She's kind of like, that's who she can go to, who can understand and comfort in the best way, because it's God. Yeah. But I forget what your question was.
It was just how you stay faithful, which you answered, because people,
yeah. Godly people.
I just thought, this is horrible for a church podcast, but I thought of The Office where Michael Scott goes, it's the people. It's the people. The people. Okay, so last major question, but I did think of another one that kind of goes with this. Okay. So, if you know Hannah in the slightest, you know that the saying is, Hannah is Hannah. Like, if people say, what's Hannah like? Hannah's just Hannah.
Oh, that's yours.
There is no, it's not. Mine's right here.
It had teeth mark on it. Did I bite mine?
Prime example. Sorry. So, like, the saying goes, Hannah is just Hannah. Like, there is no other Hannah. You just are. And so, my question is, like, how do you rationalize and I almost like have the courage to be
Right.
Hannah when all the world tells you like you're weird. You're like, you know what I mean?
I mean, not to shoot down your question, but like, I don't. Does the world? I mean, I feel like the world.
I feel like
People try to be more eccentric than they actually are,
yeah,
and then it's just kind of like, I mean,
like you can tell
you can
they're
tell when
fake.
it's fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, I get that. Like slow down, chill out.
Yeah.
Like you need to calm yourself.
Mhm. Do better.
But see, that's what's weird is you are just naturally that way. Like
What
you
can
are,
I say?
you're like a flamboyant, like outgoing, but also like shy, like introverted.
I'm so awkward.
But you just embrace it, and you just like you
see me at the
just,
checkout at Target. I'm like,
scan my things, don't touch me.
adding this to my vinyl collection.
I don't know how to word my question. Just like, what's your secret to just?
Sorry, I really don't know how. You texted me this, and I was like, what the heck is this question?
What's funny is the camera couldn't catch. Like when I asked, "What's the secret?" Your slow blink, you were like, "What secret?"
I don't know.
Is it
I
just
mean-
like you just don't care about other people's opinions?
No, I definitely do.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Probably way too much, but
That's what I'm saying. Because like, do you not have those internal thoughts of like,
like again, why did I just do that?
why did I do that? What are they thinking of me?
Why did I just burp my ABCs? I'm 22 years old.
So that's the secret. You just live in internal fear, but you don't show it.
I don't know. I think it's just another, again, the people I have in my life. Like, they just, I don't know.
They don't belittle you for
They're
it.
not like, I mean, do you know how many times your mom has gone, Hannah Lynn?
Hannah Lynn.
Hannah Lynn.
We just need to get her a t-shirt at this point. Hannah Lynn.
So
It's not a little
it's
thing.
not a little thing, Hannah. But I don't know. I think, girl. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this question.
I'm trying to think of ways to let the people know the type of person that you are. I'm just thinking of key Hannah things. Like,
Do you really want this on the podcast?
well, I'm thinking like your ability to make like animal noises.
Girl, that's not a flex.
Like you can moo and make
A cow
chicken
can-
noises like a chicken and a cow. Or the
2-year-olds
you
can
know
do that.
You know what? No.
You go, Isaiah, what does the cow say? Moo. That is not a flex or talent or anything. If anything, it's
know.
embarrassing.
I don't know how to. I think the key thing to you is your voices.
My quirks.
It's your voices. That's what stands out about you more than anything. You will on the spot change your voice, and we just all accept it. We're like, yeah, that's Hannah. Like she's talking in a British accent right now, and didn't even notice.
Yeah, I don't. No, I honestly don't know how to answer your question. I think it's just
Okay,
because Hannah not great with words, but
Hannah, not word.
Hannah not word well. Hannah do not word the wells. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
It does. Okay, I don't. That's all my questions for you.
Okay. Any other fun little questions? I'm having a rip snorting time.
I'm trying to think of anything. Honestly, I'm trying to think of anything off the top of my head from your quote board.
Let me take a gander. Usually on the quote board, it's because someone said something so off the wall.
No, I'm talking about your quotes
Oh.
on my phone. I can't remember. Like when you tell me to remember them.
Most of these need context, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's okay. I'm trying to get out to the people.
Where's the quote board? Give me your phone. Oh. Give me your phone!
Yeah, I
Okay, yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember nothing.
I did add. I need to specify this after I said this, but I did add Mimi to the quote board because she yesterday at church she goes, I just like anything violent. It was.
What was she talking about?
It was because Jake has been trying to find somebody to go to professional bull riding.
PBR?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And he asked Amy, thinking she'd be like, no. And she said, yes, I love that. And so I went home and I told Austin, and Austin was like, she does not. She's lying. So I told her, Austin doesn't believe you like bull riding. And she said, I just like anything violent. It's just like, that's going on the quote board.
That's beautiful. Oh, love
That and Ernie's. Have I told you Ernie's?
No.
Ernie came in one Wednesday night where we were all eating supper, and he just goes, Teresa, do you like fireworks? And she said, yeah, why? He just walked out. He gave no context. He just was like, cool, left. We were like, what's Ernie gonna do with fireworks?
He's just checking in.
He just needed to know.
Taking a poll.
He just needed to know. I don't even know if he knows he's on my quote board, but it to this day is one of my favorite
I think
quotes.
you should definitely ask him.
It was so funny.
He'd probably remember.
I almost choked on my food laughing because I was like, what?
He hasn't asked me if I like fireworks.
Yeah, I felt left out.
Goodness, Ernie.
Okay, so I always ask who you think should be on next time. We've had Homer, we've had Debbie, Miss Norma, Casey, and me.
What?
And now you.
I zoned out. Wait, no, Debbie, Homer, Norma, Casey, myself. It doesn't matter. Sorry. Oh my goodness. You should have Eddie or Jeannie on here.
I don't know if Eddie would do it. I've thought about Jeannie though.
Jeannie would be good.
I'm gonna do Jeannie next.
Jeannie's a hoot and a half. I mean, she's terrified of me my entire childhood, but we're bros now. Why are you throwing up?
No, that was so stale.
Oh.
The first
spit
one
it
wasn't,
out?
but that one was. It was too late.
Oh, okay. I
Anyway.
have nothing to offer. You can spit it, and my Dr. Pepper's kind of gone flat. This was from last night.
Okay, so Jeannie next.
Yeah, I think that would be a rip snore time. You would be great.
I thought of Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of Clay Hazelwood.
Oh, that would be so much fun. You'd be like, bring your banjo in.
Bring on that banjo. And I thought of Morris and Terry.
That would be funny.
Because they are secretly the funniest people in the
They're
church.
hoot and a half.
I never knew that until like a few years ago when Amy started the couples game at Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
They're the funniest people here. They just don't let anybody know it.
They're secretive about that.
They're secret.
They're secret about how funny they are.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
So when Jeannie watches this, she knows she's next. And it's Hannah's fault.
It's okay.